Oh. Hey, I'm Jag. I work on core experience in Foundry. I'm the group lead here. It's going to be hard for me to code with this, but we'll see how this goes.
Maybe I'll do the talk track this time. It'll be fun.
Amazing. Over to you, Landon.
Cool. Can we switch over to the laptop here?
He's on one. He's on one.
Laptop? There we go. Cool. All right, so today we're going to be talking about a few new features that we've been adding to the Ontology and to the OSDK. For those that are not familiar with it, the Ontology SDK is a generated SDK that you can get in platform to write your own apps, available in TypeScript, Java, and Python. We also provide code bindings so you can generate your own using OpenAPI. We'll be using mostly TypeScript today. And we'll be talking through a few new features. So you've seen a lot of the ways that media has been used in the platform. It's finally available in OSDK now, so we'll talk through that. You also saw how Automate is like changing your data in real time, or you might be using streaming to update your data in real time, or maybe your users are just pressing buttons and submitting actions. Well, now you can get real-time updates through those via object set watchers without having to repull your data set all the time. You just get a WebSocket connection. Jag will show you some more of that. And finally, we've introduced some new tools to make your ontology experience in OSDK more fluid and more consumable through runtime derived properties. We'll talk a lot more about those later, but I think they really enhance the expressiveness that we can achieve with OSDK. With that, I will turn it over to Jeg.
Okay, brilliant. Will you be my mic stand?
Yes.
Oh, this is true engineering. Great. So I've got a lot of features to run through while I'm coding here. Please try and enjoy each feature equally. We're going to quickly run through the first thing we want to do in a new application, which is I have this nice receipts application, and I want to upload a PDF. This seems quite simple to do, but actually in the past wasn't supported. So let's just shove that code straight in here. So there's a nice to-do here. Drop file here. We can hit save. And then I want to just show what it would look like to use our new APIs. So, right. I have some code here that I've already put together. For you who've used OSDK before, then you're probably acquainted with how you call an action. So here I have an action where I'm uploading a file. You may have noticed that I have media that needs uploading, yet I have no media. So let's show off that new capability. We're going to get our client, like we normally do in OSDK, and we're going to call experimental not supported yet create media reference. I promise you that name will change, but I'm showing you the bleeding edge here, so we're going to have some interesting feature names. So the first thing we're going to do is get our file. I'm going to need a file name, which brilliantly, the browser is going to give me a file name. And because our media capabilities are specifically backed by an object explicitly for the security of the data that's inside that object, I need to mention the property type I intend to use that media in. So in this case, it's a PDF. And I'm not getting any errors on the screen, so hopefully that code has worked. So I'm going to go get a file here, drag my purchase order over. It would be awkward if this didn't work, but we're just going to wait for this file to upload, and hopefully we should see several dots here. Now, you may all be noticing that I've got loads of receipts coming in real time. I'm not the only person acting in the system. I don't actually have any active friends, so these are all automates kicking around in the background. And what I don't have is multiple network requests. I have the smallest view here that are loading these things. We're now using a WebSocket, which is now a feature of OSDK that brings in all of those object sets and all of those changes in real time. So when we're talking about these systems that have automations that are running every second or more often, then I'm sure if you've used the OSDK on the front end on top of some of these applications, you've written an interval or a poll that makes it feel more real time. Those days are over. We can now celebrate the fact that we can actually make real-time systems. So I have an automate that's filling out these fields, but I still need to be able to view these files. So let's quickly implement that feature. We go to the view invoices page, and what I have is some code that I've commented out. Please don't judge the fact that I've put an async call in an on-click. I'm just doing this for the demo. I swear I'm good at my job. So I've taken this PDF and I've called fetch content. We're going to await the blob and then create an object URL here. I just need this disable to work as well. So receipt.pdf equals null. We can see that's the PDF I uploaded. We can see that my automate has taken those fields. And if you have your magnifying glass out, you can probably see that I have a purchase order on the screen. So that was 4 lines of code, and we've managed to start representing these things in our media sets directly in our applications. And we've managed to very quickly start uploading media, not just PDFs. We can do videos, we can do audio. You'll start to see some exciting audio and video workflows later in the day. But I want to jump over to this requisitioner report. So this is very exciting. I have all these receipts coming in, but I want to pivot around that data. I want to find out who's spending the most money. You can see I've uploaded my receipt many times, but David Anderson, he's the real problem at this company. So the problem with this report is, to show my shame, if I just get my requisitioner report, I don't know if many of you have done this before, but when you're trying to do pivots around the ontology, you may have noticed you have to do a few network requests. I have a few load objects here. If you look at my example, we have requisitioners, and then I'm writing my aggregations manually in my front end, and then I've put some effort into concurrency, and I've got some promise alls here. But to make this report, it's kind of painful. I'm going to jump into using runtime derived properties to generate this. And while I start coding, just so that my brain can function, Landon's going to run through what runtime derived properties are and what I'm doing.
Sure. So as Jeg was mentioning, you can get all of this information with aggregations, or you can write some custom functions and execute those, like 1 function per row maybe, or something like that, or do all your joins in the front end. But that's not very ergonomic from a customer perspective or from a network calls perspective. So what we've done is enabled you to kind of write those aggregations, write those search rounds directly in your load objects requests. This also allows you to have very ergonomic ontology modeling. So for example, each of the receipts has the total amount on the receipt. You don't need to update the person that submitted that receipt to update how much have they spent in total. You just leave that information on the receipt, aggregate that in runtime, in a single request. Cool. I think Jeg is returning his data right now.
Yes, check me out. So this is always a nice moment because I get to hit Command dot and remove all of this useless code that took me far too long to write. So I've now defined my aggregations directly in my request using the with properties feature here. And now we can look at that network tab one more time. How often do you see a network tab and go, wow? We have 1 call to load objects. All of those network requests are now gone. I can do these rich aggregations directly in my application as if I was writing a function natively in my front-end app. Cool. Over to Landon with what's coming up.
Yes, cool. So we showed these things in OSDK. So OSDK media capabilities, you may or may not know, but the media set backend will actually auto-generate thumbnails for you, for example. So we'll be adding that as something that you can grab in OSDK. For intelligent object set watchers, that is, you still have to do a lot of your React state handling in Jeg's demo here, which is why we didn't really show it. But at one of the sessions, if you find EA or Elliot, or just come talk to Jeg and I, we'll connect you. You can see an upcoming library that we have that will handle all of this state management for you with easy options for multiplayer and easy options for optimistic updates when you're submitting actions from inside your own application. And then finally, runtime-derived properties, in order to kind of extend the semantic usefulness of it, we'll be exposing that directly in the ontology as well. So you can define properties on your objects that don't require any backing data, but all of your applications will be able to get these search rounds, get these aggregations, as if they were regular properties on the object. That'll also be exposed in Workshop. so that you can define like, oh, you just need this property within the workshop. Same kind of functionality that Jeg demonstrated earlier. You can define that in workshop as well.